Good morning, and let's start with circumstances. As you are aware, circumstances significantly influence our life. And how do they do that? Through our feelings. Now, we would have all experienced it. When I was kind of reminiscing this morning, always through the feelings. When I was a little kid and my father scolded me and he said, "You useless fellow, you'll never learn maths," I felt so humiliated, that I always have been afraid of maths and avoiding it. So that became a circumstance for me. Yeah, everywhere there was maths involved, I would just shy away from it. Circumstances. I remember when I was appearing, for the Armed Forces Medical College exam, I heard a friend of my father telling him, they had come to visit us specially for that, कि यार वो तुम्हारा, your friend is, your course mate is on the interview board. Can you put in a word for my daughter? So as soon as they left, I told my dad, I am also appearing. Will you put in a word for me? Now, this is before the exam. Huh? And my father said, useless fellow. Should I go and tell my friend that my son is so useless that he needs my recommendation to be selected in the interview? I will not do that. And that influenced my feeling. I felt so discouraged. I said, my own father will speak for somebody else. He's not going to speak for me. And I just very, very half-heartedly, I suspect now that I purposely flunked it. If I had not flunked it, I might have become a doctor, for God's sake. Later on, I justified by saying, doctor takes too long to get settled. They take too long before they can make money. So that's what happens, isn't it? We allow circumstances to influence us. So the question for everybody today is, how can we leverage the circumstances? So I have an example from my life. I mean, it was not deliberately done. It must have happened as a reaction or a fluke or whatever it is. When I was around 18 and a half years ago, once my father caught me reading a book which he thought was not a good book. You know what I mean? The cover was not very good looking. It had some weird photos on it. So he got angry, he scolded me, and he said, "You cannot read this kind of a book." I said, "Why not?" Because I was a cocky youngster. Huh? He said, "Because you are not old enough." I said, "I'm more than 18 years of age. I'll read whatever I want." Now, by this time, I'd become a little more assertive, at least at home, not outside. He gave me a tight slap, tore the book into pieces, and he said, "You bloody useless fellow. You say you will do what you want when you stand on your own 2 feet. The chaddi you're wearing is given by me. The scooter that you drive is given by me. Whatever rutba, hasiyat you got is because of Colonel Malvai. Who are you? The day you become something, then you will do what you like." So that day, that circumstances, it became a trigger for me. I thank God I leveraged it in a positive manner. Now, if it could have gone in the negative manner also, I would have been a failure then. But I said, I will show you. From today, I will not take anything from you. Here's your scooter. I'm not going to stay in your house also. And I never took any money from him. And the next day, I went and got a job. Now, that's an example of how, maybe by accident or by fluke or whatever it is, I leveraged that circumstances which turned out to be in my favor. Of course, because it was a very reactive one, the decision which I made because of that helped me to become successful, all right. But it also made my path a little difficult for me, right? Because all the influence, all the contacts that we had as a family, we come from a very, powerful family. Like the chairman of the Punjab and Sindh Bank used to touch my grandmother's feet. You know, that kind of influence was there. In many places, I would never use it. I would never even say. I said to hell with it. I mean, I'm not going to ask anybody for help. So on the one side, it levered me to become a strong person, self-made person. On the other hand, it made me a person who would never seek any support and help from anyone. So I became a person who said, I will do everything on my own, which is not really an advantage. If you're not going to ask people for support, you're not using the multiplier effect, right? So we have all now, since we are here of people of different age groups, we have all experienced times when we allowed circumstances to negatively influence us or stop us, and we've had times when we leveraged the circumstances. So the interesting thing is, we are all aware different people react differently in same circumstances. One person gets discouraged in that circumstance, other fellow says, I will fight, I will win, I will succeed, right? We all have these examples in our life. We have done it, okay? But what's the situation now? Because I believe circumstances will show up, they rear their head, every day. And the influence or our, letting them influence is so much prevalent, we don't even realize that it's happening. A simple thing like, yeah, I want to do this. And my mind is saying, no, there'll be too much objection at home. Right? So I'll drop the idea only. My mind is not going to say, okay, if they are going to try to stop me, I will convince them, I will influence them, I will enroll them into my idea. And immediately your mind, which is programmed by past circumstances, will say, no, yeah, there will be half an hour argument at home. So leave it. Chhod do. There should be peace in the house. So let me not do what I want. Similar circumstances, right? So one of the things that I discovered very early in my life, and I'm discovering it every day, that we have to use the power of influence.
Learn the power of influencing. Either the world will influence you or you will influence the world.
The world, right? So I believe it is a skill that we really need to work on, our influencing skills. And we will be talking about this in subsequent sessions also. But right now, for today, I'm just saying, can we reflect a bit and see how is it that in my day-to-day life now, in whatever it is that I'm doing now, how I'm allowing myself to be stopped. Now, we could have, somebody who's doing extraordinary. Like if I ask this question to Colonel Raj, he's a guy who gets up 4 o'clock in the morning and he goes for a 5-kilometer run every morning. He does not allow that circumstance to stop him. But are there other circumstances where he holds back? Maybe, I don't know. So same way, Captain Hari today is taken on a new project, right? How is he allowing himself to get stopped by those circumstances? Are you getting what I'm saying? Like Abhinav was going through a certain circumstance which was really disappointing him, and he handled it magnificently, right? He could have succumbed to it. I don't want to share about it because he will share if he wants to. So that's my invitation to you guys. What are the circumstances that are holding you, sticking you, keeping you stuck now? There is an aspiration. And we give it up and say, no, now it is not possible. There is a desire now also to do something, but your mind says, no. Leave it. It's not going to happen. I tried it many times. It doesn't work. All right. So enough for me. I'd like to hear from you people. It could be in little things also. Yes, Reddy Garu. Again, your sound is making some problems. Cannot hear you at all. Can you adjust your mic? Very vaguely the sound comes. Can other people also give some feedback, or is it only me who cannot hear him?
Yeah, we are not able to hear.
Okay, so can you fix it and then come back? Okay, who else? How are circumstances influencing you, stopping you now, at this time in your life? Not yesterday, not day after. Yes, sir. Well, Raj and then Malika.
Yeah. Namaste and good morning.
Namaste.
My experience with the circumstances is tangible, non-tangible. It is constant. I mean, it remains. It's same for you and same for others. What makes a difference is how you perceive it and how you react to that. So largely it is how you react. And each one of us going to react in different way in the same circumstances. So I looked at it from that point of view. I said, I should not allow the circumstances to influence me. Rather, I should find a way out of that. And then like what we say, what choices I have in the circumstances and what best for me. I look at it from that point of view. I never compromise on my own comfort and my own happiness when I handle with any circumstances. That is how it has been with me. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And Gulzar, that's very nice of you to share. But my question is, despite all that, if you open up your awareness, you might become aware of how even a person like you sometimes gets influenced by circumstances. Keep a very watchful eye on that. Of course,
Yes,
you will
sir.
overcome.
Yes, that's what I'm telling. I look at it when circumstances keep changing, but what I'm trying to tell was it remains constant. I mean, you may not have created, you may not have created. Somebody else, mostly it is created by somebody else or the environment. How you take it is more important. So I look at it from that point of view. How best I can you make it good for me. I should not adversely affect me. How it should affect me positively. I look at it from that and look at the opportunities, possibilities, and then hand.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing. But it's not exactly answering my question. So, because what I'm saying, is there a circumstance that's stopping you now? That was a question, but good. What you said is very useful for everybody. Yes, Malika ji.
Actually, a similar concept only I also try to say. That's what coming in my mind. Because for me, circumstances are only our point of view. Say, for example, my goal is to write whatever I have learned, I have experienced in this world. I want to write and present to this world back. And I want to so I want to write books. So for that, here, the circumstances, I'm just taking a chance of circumstances only. If I really want to achieve, I can able to achieve even in any circumstances. Even while I do journey, I may not be having any note or pen with me, but I used to write in my Gmail. I open my Gmail and I used to write. So if I could write something in my journey time, why don't I write other times also? Why I have to put the, what to say, that blame on the circumstances? That is what is my question also, so similar to what Raj said. So when you ask this question itself, I write the same only in my.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you.
Yes, Captain Raj, Hari.
Good morning, everyone.
Colonel Raj.
Yeah, circumstances are definitely influential. And right now, Before that, I just say, always ask this question: what if? What if things would have happened this? What if that would have happened? And what if this could have happened? And something like that. Um, right now, one circumstance that keeps coming to me is if not, my wife had actually wanted to come to Germany. If she had wanted to come to a country where English is predominantly available, then things would have been different. Is what I sometimes feel. Um, and currently, I am getting accustomed from what Colonel Raj said and Mallikaji told. We are getting adapted towards, or at least I can talk about myself. I'm getting adapting towards the circumstances. Okay, this is something which is there. Okay, let me survive or in this kind of circumstance. Rather, how to make this circumstance useful to me or influence the thing which I wanted to achieve is something I would like to hear and learn about. Rather than adapting towards it, how to make it. Adapting is something there is always things of acceptance is there rather than allowance. So that is something which I feel
That's right.
I would
First
like
thing
to
we
get.
can change is our nomenclature, right? Instead of saying, how do I survive in this?
Survive, yeah, thrive.
How about saying, how do I thrive in this?
Thrive, yeah. I mean, I'm actually surviving, so I would like to get moved to a situation where I can thrive in the circumstances, make it useful,
And
make
a very
influence.
interesting thing. Thank you very much for bringing it up, Captain Hari. See, when you look at circumstances and say, okay, I have to survive in these circumstances, there are the goals that you set will be only survival goals. Now, I don't think I have to tell you what are survival goals.
Yeah.
Right? When you come from thriving, you will set goals which are quite different. Unfortunately, this entire influence of the circumstance does not even give us the courage to set a goal which will help us to survive, sort of thrive in that situation. Yesterday I was at my Rotary Club meeting, and this club has completed 50 years of its existence. So we were, in the part of the celebration. So our, what do you call that, director was giving a speech and he said that, listen, we have survived for 50 years. So I raised my hand and I interrupted him. I said, why do you say survived? We have thrived for 50 years. Because if you look at the achievements of the club, so it's so much programmed, into our brain that we say survived for so many years. Like we can say, I have survived for 72 years. But actually, if I look at it like I've survived for 72 years, will it empower me? Or I say, hey, listen, these 72 years I've thrived. But then my brain is saying, but listen, if you have thrived, where is your Mercedes? That's the programming, no? If you have thrived, where is your 8, penthouse apartment in Mumbai? That's the influence that we have. So it constantly disempowers us, ne? So thank you for opening that up, Captain Saab. Okay, who's next? We have a shining example of a person who thrived in a circumstance where everybody said, you're a fool, why are you going to Orissa on a deputation? I would have asked Kuldeep ji to share that, but we have only 7 minutes left. So maybe he'll do it next time. But some of the older members have heard that. And he did a wonderful job when he went over there. He even got the chief minister to, allot land at 1 rupee for building a complete complex for the NCC in Odisha. And he was honored by the state government also. Right? So he could have taken a, proper naval assignment, which he was also getting. But he didn't take that. And everybody said, you're ruining your career, this, that, and the other. So we have a lot of people like that. But now, what's happening now? Abhi kya ho raha hai? That's the more interesting thing. See, the moment I take on small challenges, I will notice how the circumstances, simple circumstance can be, I requested so and so fellow to do something for me, he didn't do it, right? It can discourage me. Or I can leverage and say, hello, how can I put it to him in a different way so that he gets activated and does what he can do? You know, you'll tell somebody to do something for you only when you think he's capable, no? Now, for whatever reason, he didn't. Now, you can waste your time blaming and saying, he never does what you say. He could have done it if he wanted to. No, but why? That circumstance can stop me from telling him again, no? So yesterday I was experimenting with that. That, you know, usually when I'm in a public gathering, I would not do anything unusual. Yeah? Because I'll be embarrassed to do it. But yesterday there with 40 people, I actually went up to each person and said, take out your phone and do this for me. And they very happily did it. I said, wow. I did not let that circumstance stop me. So let us be a little aware and watchful how insidiously, how subtly we are allowing this circumstance to creep into our everyday life. Yeah, and stop us from taking that 100% action that we are capable of. Got it? So I think I'll stop here and let's leave the floor to our shires. Today we've got 3 of them. So let's start with the lady. Okay, Captain Saab wants to say something first. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir, I just want to share that today I complete 30 years of my work life, sir. I started 11th October 1994. I joined Air Force.
Wow, congratulations. You're 30 years old.
Congratulations, congratulations.
Thank you all. So it's been a great journey.
Congratulations and celebrations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So 13 years in defense and then corporate last 17 years. Academics in between 3 years. So it's been a great journey.
We are so proud of you. You're showing the civilians what an army person can do.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm really so proud of all you guys, you know, who've gone out into civilian life and, you know, actually demonstrated that look, army people are not only fit for security, they can do many other things also. I mean, they are the real managers. I believe that. Yes, Malika ji.
What I want to say is how the circumstances can help me to create myself or my goals. Why don't we ask this question? Is coming in my mind, sir, while we talk.
First, you tell me one thing. What are you doing that every day you're looking younger and younger?
It's first thing I'm coming to EMC with the similar thoughts because we all are going to the same path. So that itself giving me the energy throughout the days. That is very important in my life. Because the aligning thoughts is very, very important. That half an hour I'm getting the space.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that. Very, very encouraging for me and everybody else, I'm sure. Hasina ji, aapki shairi ho jaye, because ladies first, you know. Hasina ji, are you there?
I'm very much here.
Okay, go ahead.
जिसको हर वक्त देखता हूं मैं, उसको बस एक बार ही देखा था.
जिसको हर वक्त देखता हूं मैं, उसको मैंने सिर्फ एक बार ही देखा था मैंने. Wow. Fantastic. Once you saw that person is always in your mind. Reminds me of a song, you are always on my mind. You are always on my mind. Okay, who's next? Kal Babu, do you have something, some shairi today, or shall we go to Commodore Saab?
No, I'm here, sir.
Okay, so let's hear your shairi.
So it's a Hindi one, and कोई मरहम नहीं चाहिए मेरे दर्द को मिटाने के लिए. कोई मरहम नहीं चाहिए मेरे दर्द को मिटाने के लिए. तेरी मुस्कान ही काफी है मेरे गम को भुलाने के लिए.
बढ़ाने के लिए.
ये मुस्कान ही काफी है मेरे गम को भुलाने के लिए.
भुलाने के लिए. I don't need a balm to take care of my pain. Your smile
smile-
is enough for me to forget the pain. Wow, how wonderful can that be? Yes, sir. Comrade Kuldeep ji, over to you, sir.
बहुत संभल कर चलना पड़ता है संबंधों की, बहुत संभल कर चलना पड़ता है संबंधों की बारिश में, क्योंकि मिलता नहीं इसका रेनकोट किसी भी बाजार में.
One more time, sir.
बहुत संभल कर चलना पड़ता है संबंधों की बारिश में, क्योंकि मिलता नहीं इसका रेनकोट किसी भी बाजार में.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And on that note, thank you everyone for being there today and be there every day. It encourages all of us. And have a wonderful day and beat the circumstances. Okay? And we'll see you tomorrow for another useful and interesting, empowering morning conversation. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. God bless
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.